And hi there, welcome back. In the last lecture, we have added camera to our scenes. First to the player, and then we added it to the play scene. And now currently, we don't have any camera on the player, we just have one in our play scene. In this lecture, I would like to start working on the player. I would like to replace it with the actual sprite that will represent a player. So let's begin. Before we'll add player here, or we already have player, but before we add some normal sprites to the player, I would like you to remove the player scene, and I will show you the different ways how you can create the player scene, because in any scenes you have multiple options. So I will remove the player, we don't need it really here. Player TSN is still in your hierarchy here in the file system, so you can also remove it from here. No big deal, I'll just remove it, and now we don't have a player anymore. So if you decide to create your nodes under your play scene, so go to the play scene, I'll press Ctrl A or Command A, just right click add child node. Ctrl A is faster. I'll decide here to create a node 2D. Okay, under node 2D I will decide to create a sprite 2D and so on. So now I have a node 2D, sprite 2D, and I will decide, okay, I would like to have a scene from this, or maybe this will be my enemy, so I would like to have multiple enemies. So if I want to do it now to create an enemy, because maybe I already have some structure created, so let's say maybe I will have even more here. So for example, I have a collider also here, or collision shape 2D. Okay, and then I just need to right click here, node 2D, and this will give you a couple of options here. So you can see here, duplicate, reparent to new node, make scene root, or save branch as scene. And that's what we want. Save branch as scene. I'll just click here, and I can create your enemy scene, enemy TSCN. Now I have an enemy scene. So you'll see here in my file system, I have an enemy TSCN. I can open it, and this will be the structure we have created. Node 2D, sprite 2D, collision shape 2D. I can rename it, so just click inside. I can call it my enemy. I have my enemy. Okay, maybe I can add some sprite to it. So here in a texture, I can just drag my icon, and I will have a structure to it. Again, if you don't know where is your sprite, you can scroll away from it. You can just press F on your keyboard. This will move to the object. Okay, so I can go now back to the play scene, and I can remove these sprites here, all of them, like this. Just select them and Shift and backspace, and this will delete everything. And I have a node 2D. I can remove also this one. Okay, and now maybe I want to add multiple enemies, so I can go just to my file system, and I can just drag here enemies. I can drag them directly here. See to my map or to my file system like this, and I have an enemy. You can see just F, and you can focus on enemy, and enemy is not visible for some reason. Let's see here, enemy is here, and I will go back to our play scene. Enemy is not here. Okay, not even remotely visible, so I'll just remove it. 1 second, and I will try to add it to the file system. So I'll just go enemy TSC, and I will drag it into the play scene. Okay, and okay, enemy is not here. Maybe it's because we'll go to click here on the open in editor. So you see our player. Maybe it's because the collision shape is showing us some warnings here. When you want to add collision shape, you need to provide also the other nodes into it. You will see later, but let's remove it for now. So let's save this. Or maybe it wasn't saved. Okay, so just save it again. Go to play scene, and now you have it here. Okay, so if I want to have multiple enemies, I can just add the scenes into it. Okay, and then when I will do some behavioral changes, so I want to do some code changes in enemy TSN, this will be applied to all of my enemies in the scenes. So we have a standalone enemy scene, play scene, and play scene contains multiple enemy scenes. And a scene is just a container of nodes. Okay, but I'm repeating myself already. So we don't want to enemy scene actually just now. We will have it later. So I'll just select all of them, and I will delete them. So just select it with a shift. You can just like this, hold the shift key, and just select the last one. It will select all of them, or just one by one, and then press Ctrl or Command and backspace, or just right click here and delete. Up to you, like this. And also remove this enemy scene. We don't need it. Okay. The other way to create a scene is also, as I mentioned here, this one I can remove also. Don't save. And a player, don't save from up here. We have only play scene, we can save this one. With this plus here, you can create a scene, or you can go also to here and right click here, and you see you can create here a new scene, like this new scene. And then you can decide to create a new node and a scene name. So I will call this scene, let's say player. Okay, and the player. Also, maybe you see how I'm naming these nodes. I'm naming them with the uppercase first letter. So this is a Pascal case. So that's how you naming nodes with a Pascal case. So it's my player. Okay, player, or I will create maybe node which will be audio manager. You can see this will be Pascal case manager. Okay, but my files. Okay, actually it's player tsn. I should rename with the lowercase because my files here, all of them, I will be naming with the snake case, so as a play scene. You see, so the files will be this play scene, tscn, or player.tscn. So that's how you're naming the nodes, and the files will be naming this. Okay, that's how it works on the Godot. You can actually use your own convention, but if you check the convention on the website of the Godot to follow the best practices, they are using this convention. So straight away, I will go click here on this player. I will rename it. Okay, I'll just click inside, and this will allow me to rename it. No, okay, I need to right click here, and or maybe I can do it like this. Just double click it, go to the player here, and just rename the root. No, actually it won't work. We need to rename the file. Never mind. Just right click here and change here and find here rename. You can see rename here and just call it player tscn, and that's it. Okay, so we will add here some new sprite to it. So we have already the player is a node 2D, and under as a child node we'll create an animated sprite. So right click here or Control A and animated sprite. Here it is. Here you have it, animated sprite 2D. You can always read the description what these nodes do for you, but yeah, we can provide multiple sprites and they will be played in animation. So like this, animated sprite 2D, there is a warning, node configuration warning, a sprite frames, a resource must be created or set in sprite frames. So basically what it's complaining about, when you will have this selected, go to the right side, and here you have animation and sprite frames needs to be selected here. Okay, but we don't have any sprite frames. So let's fix it. Open your browsers at the website here, itch.io/game assets. That's the best spot where you look for the assets you want for prototyping or testing out things. And you can find here a lot of paid assets that you should pay for them if you will be using in a commercial game. Or just for testing, there are some free ones. So on the left side, we have a free option. Click here on the free. And in the free tab here, let's scroll down. And I'm looking for a specific asset, which I was using already before multiple times. And we are looking for a red hooded character here, hooded protagonist. So hooded protagonist animated character, you can find it in the resources of this lecture. Just simply go to the website. You can see here https://penzilla.itch.io/hooded protagonist. Okay, so write some nice comments to the author of this asset, please, because this is a very nice asset and it's for free here. Of course, if you want to pay for it, you can pay for it. That's very good to support small creators. So just click here, download. Download now. Okay, I already bought this asset, so I'll click here, no thanks. Just take me to downloads and you can now download it. Okay, so we are going with the animation sheet character PNG, and also before that, please read this license. Okay, so what you can do, what you cannot do with the asset. As you see here, there is one condition here. If you want to use it here in your game or your commercial project, it's limited only to one project. So if you will purchase this asset once, you can use it only one project, and you need to credit the author. So graphics created by Penzilla, design again. Thank you very much to the author. We can put it on in our game if it will be created, or you can just purchase it multiple times. Okay, so here we're going here, download animated sheet and download this. Okay, here we have it. Open the folder here, find it in your file system. Okay, and just drag and drop this into your project. So just select it, go here and just drop it here. Okay, so here we have an animated sheet underscore character. Create a new folder for it actually, because this will be not very clear what we have here. So right click here and new folder, we'll call it assets, like this, and the assets folder will drag and drop this animated sheet. All right, so here we have it. Okay, so now when you will open this, this will look like this. Okay, so double click it and you will see this will look like this. Okay, actually we can open it also here, so maybe this will be better to see. So you can see each row, this represent different animation cycle. So this probably, this 4 sprites looks like an idle. This maybe is running. Okay, or this is actually also running here. Okay, this is running. Maybe this is a walking. Maybe this is walking. This looks more like walking, and this looks like running. So you can see the sprites are just one image contains multiple smaller images which you can slice. Okay, this I would slice, this row, I would slice into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 smaller images. And when you will play them in sequence, after some time interval, you will create an illusion of animation. And that's what we are aiming for. So just close it. Okay, and we can close also this. We can put our editor into the state it was before. Okay, so again, click here Animated Sprite 2D. What you are going to do now is these sprite frames on the right side. You can see it says empty. Just click inside and click here New Sprite Frames. Okay. So we have a new sprite frames. You can click on these sprite frames, and this will select in the bottom tab sprite frames. It will open this new panel here, which is where it will say default. That's your default animation name, which is called default. So just call it idle. This will be our idle animation. Okay. Now, when we want to get here frames, the smaller images, and play them in sequence, you need to click here, this here, add frames from sprite sheet. So just click this, go to your assets, and select here animated animation, this image, what we have downloaded before. Just double click it, and it will open this tab. Now, we need to choose the size. You see how much will be, what will be the size of single image in this sprite. So for this, usually you will go to the website here, and usually it says here the size. You see here, 32 by 32 pixels. Yeah, so we know the size. So just go back here and select here 32 by 32, and this will create this nice grid. You can see everything is sized correctly. And we have these frames represent single images. So we are going for idle animation first. So just select the frames you want to have in idle animation. So just click on them. So this one, 0, 1, 2, 3, these 4, and add 4 frames. Okay, and you can see we have 4 frames here. When you can go into your map, you can press F to focus on your player, and you can scroll down a little bit. Okay. First thing you notice is a little bit blurred out. You can see this image is not very clear, so if it is happening, just go to the right side as your animated sprite 2D is selected. Go to texture, and here filter, choose your nearest, like this, and this will make it clear, every pixel. Okay? Okay, now, you see they have these animation frames. We can play them, so you can see this play button here, animation frames, there is a stop button, play next frame, and this one here is play select animation from current position. So click this, and this will play your idle animation. So you can see this can be idle, just closing eyes and moving like this. Okay, here what FPS you want. So FPS, you see the lower FPS, the animation will look more laggy. If you will go with the super high FPS, but you don't have any frames, it will go smoother, but it will be like going hyperactive. So I think for this case, 5 FPS for this idle animation is good. So that's how it looks like. Okay, you can stop this. Okay, just click this button to stop it. And if you want to see a player now, if you will run the command Control R or Command R, this will play the current scene. So this one will play the scene, but you don't see anything because we don't have a camera here on the player, right? So press Control B to play your main scene, actually. Why it wasn't playing? Control B. Nothing there. We don't have our player in the play scene. So. Okay, rookie mistake. So go back to your play scene here. There is nothing here. So go and drag your player TSCN here, like this, up. And we have our player here. So you can go back to the player and you can just press Control B to run your default scene. And you should see this. You see the player is very far from the camera. We can zoom it in a little bit. So what we do, we'll go back to the play scene, click on the camera 2D, and there should be zoom. So look here for zoom is 1, it's 1, 1. Choose it for 5, 5, like this. and now press Control B or Command B, and now it's closer. But you see there is no animation going on. Why is it not going on? Because we need to execute it from the code, or we have also this option, go to the player back, click on the player, and here, as with the animated sprite 2D selected and we have this idle animation, we can click here on this button here, an animation next to this. Here you see, autoplay on load. Click and select it. You see it here. This autoplay on load when it is selected, and I will run my scene, so Control B, Command B. You see now the animation is playing by the default. Okay, so that's the idle animation. We can also create a run animation if you want, but about this I would be bothering later because we already covered a lot of things in this video and it's getting too long as always with me. Okay, so just save your files. We have play scene and player scene, and next lecture will continue. See you there. Cheers.